This is the Cop City site. Construction vehicles are up in flames. It's like a trailer for the construction crew, about to be up in flames. Smoke bombs.
This conflict with protesters around Cop City down in Georgia continues to rage on between, of course, law enforcement officials and these folks that are pushing back, because it looks like it's this training facility for cops to find new ways and new areas to train how to attack civilians, as they've talked about, and also its environmental effects on the area are things that they're protesting, and it's turned into a quote unquote terrorist group is what they've called many of these folks. So with that in mind, there was a few folks that have been injured and one that was also killed. His name was Manuel Terán. And after being killed, they had a particular story about what happened, but ever since then, there's been more that's been revealed. Originally, these are the facts that they said happened on January 18th between the authorities and him. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, which is investigating this shooting, has said officers shot Terán after the activist shot and seriously wounded a state trooper on January 18th, as law enforcement worked to clear protesters from the forested site as they're protesting, as you know. But this autopsy that was conducted, the family attorney has confirmed that that wasn't really the story. Watch that.
According to the autopsy, the wounds indicate that Manuel's left arm and hand were raised when Manuel was shot, with the palm facing the front of the body. Manuel's right forearm and right hand were also shot. The gunshot to the head would have killed them instantly, but probably, in the words of the report, not before they were able to raise their hands and arms in front of their body, like that. Manuel's legs were shot with shotgun slugs and probably buckshot, leading to the conclusion that two different shotguns were fired at Manuel before they died. To the legs are consistent with Manuel having been shot while they were sitting down cross-legged. Manuel was likely shot by individuals, according to the report, standing in front of them relatively close. Manuel was looking death in the face, hands raised when killed.
Seems like a pretty damning autopsy report there that described him sitting, hands facing away from him, which would indicate hands up. What they couldn't figure out, apparently, obviously from an autopsy, is whether or not he then was actually holding a firearm. And that's what's pointed out here. That autopsy, which notes that Terán was shot about a dozen times, sadly, by ammunition used in handguns and shotguns, and could neither prove nor disprove the allegation that the activist was armed. Quote, is not enough for us to work backward from it to figure out what happened. That's what Jeff Philipovitz said on Monday. That's the family attorney. But the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is still holding back in releasing some of those details, which makes this even more curious. The lawsuit aims to have a Georgia court order the city of Atlanta to turn over police department records the family's attorneys previously requested, including images and video or audio recordings related to authorities' operation on January 18th. Those requests have been stymied by what the attorneys and their lawsuit alleges a coordinated effort by the state to prevent public records from being released to Manuel's family and the public at large. And we've seen that many times. There's a track record here. This is how these things sometimes happen. We'll get a police body cam footage from some random traffic stop that ended horrifically a year later. Hopefully, I guess from their point, thinking that it'll all kind of blow over. I'm not sure how long they're looking to wait or delay on this type of stuff. But again, if you're in the right, you'd have no reason to hide it. You have no reason to keep it from everyone else if he's already firing at you. And if that's what happened, you should be eager to get that whole thing cleared up. But still, as these protests rage on, a bunch of legal observers have been arrested by the police as well, though. It's getting wild. One more piece here, just watch.
Back up, dude. Turn around. Go away.
it's almost like the things that they're concerned about are happening right in front of them, and it's getting proven out by the folks that they're protesting against.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? Like they make this cop city thing so that they can practice maneuvers and tactics as if there's some occupying force and the citizenry is the enemy. And then lo and behold, JR, they go out and they behave that way. They behave like there's some occupying foreign, military, and the city and the citizenry, which they are sworn to protect, are not that. They treat them as if these guys are enemy combatants. You can't be surprised by this when this is the sort of culture and the atmosphere that is promoted amongst the ranks of police and a lot of police forces across the country. And so, yeah, when they interface with regular citizens just being citizens, right? They might have a problem with something. They might show up, protest, yell loudly, wield some signs. These are all stuff that we have the rights to do as citizens of this country. And yet when you have a police force that views everybody who isn't cops as potential enemy combatants, that's what they're gonna do and how they're gonna behave.
And eventually, I guess the folks that aren't affected by it or are backing this still, it has to wait until it comes to their front door before they see it as usual.